What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another Pay-Per-Viewpoint edition of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast. I am your host, as always, Tony Mango, and joining me, as always, is Robert DeVillies.
Insert generic Godsmack song that we use for every Saudi Arabian show.
Is that the same song?
It's the same song every fucking time.
Do you think that they're doing that because they don't want people to have, like, the sponsorship things? Like, nobody wants to be associated? Or is it just, like, it's just easier? Like, that kind of thing?
I wonder if it's just like, nah. Like the Saudi prince is like, no, this is the song. Legends rise. I hear this and I think of WWE and I only want to hear this. Like, you never know.
Wouldn't it be kind of funny if, based off of the idea that he requested, like, Yokozuna and people that had been passed away for years and years and years, if he's like, get some of those hot bands to do this, like Blink-182. Like,
Yeah, like, what's Nirvana doing these days?
How come you can't put the latest Chumbawamba song? Well, that's something.
This is gonna be good.
Blues Travelers now in my mind, like so many things that should not have anything to do with Ground Jewel.
I just thought of the Undertaker and Goldberg match set to I get knocked down, then I get up again.
But I gotta come up, but I get up again, and then I make that face that Undertaker makes.
It's like, this fucking guy.
That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about all these bands. We're in the heyday of Alanis Morissette. Isn't it ironic that we're talking about Crown Jewel 2019? They got 8 matches confirmed so far for the pay-per-view. Possibility of another one. Maybe they just changed their mind. It all kind of depends. I guess that's actually where we should start. Actually, no, before we get started, we should remind everybody that we want to know what you have to say about this. So drop your comments below on the YouTube page. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel already, do that while you're there. Ring that little bell for the notifications. Like the video, drop a comment. That applies even to the iTunes people and the Stitcher and Google Play and Spotify people and all the ones that are on the audio-only platforms. You can't leave a comment where you are, so leave a ranking or a rating or whatever they have on that, and then hop over to YouTube and get the ball rolling there. But let's start with the match that isn't going to happen, but it's worth discussing. The women's match. There's always a possibility. I think that they're going to try until the end of this agreement.
Until they get it done, because they'll get it done before 10 years. I do think that.
I should hope so, at the very least. But
so did you know that the UN aims to have gender equality solved by 2030?
How do you just, like,
solve? But I genuinely think that is why you see the shift in certain things that you see. Therefore, I think within the next 10 years, you will get the WWE to have a women's match in Saudi Arabia. And they'll be like, we did it! Gender is equal, let's go. We're out of here, boys.
If you were to book a women's match on the card for right now, what do you think that you would do? Because it has to be something historic, but it can't just be like an all-time roster type of thing or something.
Becky and Charlotte.
I don't know what I would do. I mean, that makes sense, but it's like that part of me that's seen it a million times really doesn't want to see it again, you know?
Becky is the most over superstar, period. She kind of has gear that covers her whole body. You can just kind of make the pants part longer. Get Charlotte some new gear. They're the 2 best women in the company. You want to show that women can be badasses? You put them in the ring.
What if you just did like a slap in the face by you? We're like, okay, we can have one women's match. All right, Battle Royal. We have like 50 women in there. And it's just like, they all get to participate, you know, like.
It'd be a nightmare for the seamstresses who have to do
right.
all those new outfits. But yeah, I could see them doing that.
Well, it seems like there's a possibility that we could get something with like Natalya, because they do seem to want to give her something, and every time that it comes around, something else comes up. So they could do like Natty versus Becky or something.
So Fightful Select is reporting tonight that Natty, this is Tuesday night, by the way, October 29th? Yeah, 29th. Natty, Lacey Evans, and Lana are being flown to Saudi Arabia. Now, Lana will probably, if she shows, will be showing up in the 5-on-5.
Right.
Natty and Lacey could have a 4-minute women's match. You can get that history part out of the way and just kind of move on.
I would hope that it wouldn't be Lacey and Natty. They've had enough matches, and I don't feel like that's a good enough thing for them to actually put as like the first match to do this and history and all that.
I mean, if Becky Lynch, like, let's say that they're flying Becky over there, we don't know. But like, imagine she does that this year. She wins 2019 completely. Like, main event WrestleMania, compete in Saudi Arabia. Like, she's
cover a 2K, despite the fact that it's all the glitches.
It may be a broken game, but she's on the cover of it. Like, she wins. This is her year.
100%. And I would at least book her in the match. But I don't think this is happening. I highly doubt that we're getting a women's match this time around.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but we'll get there.
Got to keep trying at the very least. That's
it'll be that battle royal.
Maybe. But we do have a battle royal that we know for sure is happening. This is a 20-man battle royal, and the winner is going to get a United States Championship shot later on in the night. They're going to get a whole lot of United States titles. It's going to be like an episode of that. Was it Pawn Stars? Or no, that's not that one. Where's the one where they open up the garage sale things and stuff? The storage units
something. Yeah. Storage Wars.
There you go. Yeah, the winner of the battle royal gets a storage unit, and it's all filled with the United States, just flags and fucking sparklers and everything. We gotta stop recording at nights after we've done a whole bunch of work when we still have a lot more work to do.
You know what though? This is a lot more fun than, hey, you know, Mansoor's gonna win, right? Yeah. Okay, moving on. You know, so we're having fun. We hope you're having fun too. And if you're having fun, leave a comment.
So these are the people that are in the 20-man battle royal in alphabetical order: Akira Tozawa, Andrade, Apollo Crews, Buddy Murphy, Cedric Alexander, Drake Maverick, Eric Young, Eric Rowan, Heath Slater, Humberto Carrillo, Lake Harper, Jesus Christ, Luke Harper, good old Lake Harper, he's a hell of a pond, Mojo Rawley, No Way Jose, R-Truth, Shelton Benjamin, Sin Cara, Sunil Singh, the Brian Kendrick, Titus O'Neil, and Tony Nese. Already, I got some people that are standing out as not being a part of this. Now, we know why certain people aren't going to be competing. Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens, for instance, they've turned down working at Crown Jewel and Super Showdown and everything in the past, so they probably did that too. Aleister Black is not allowed because he's got tattoos and they're apparently offensive and whatever. And Sami Zayn, politics are stupid. So those four not being a part of this, that's why. But why aren't EC3, Drew Gulak, The Miz, and Samir Singh in this?
I have a theory about The Miz. We'll get to it later. Wait, are they all Raw guys?
Well, EC3's on Raw. Drew Gulak's on SmackDown.
The Miz is on...
the people that are on the, in the Battle Royal, you mean?
Yeah, they're all on Raw, right? Or 205 Live?
No, they're Raw, 205 Live, and SmackDown, because they have, Luke Harper is SmackDown.
Oh, right, Slater. Okay. So, yeah, The Miz should be in it, but I have a theory.
Now, EC3 and Drew Gulak not being in is really confusing to me. I can get the whole Sunil Singh thing, because I'm assuming that between Sunil being a part of this and R-Truth being a part of this, they're going to get involved and it's going to be something about the 24/7 championship. And Samir can just be ringside and, they don't need to take up a spot. But I'm really shocked that EC3 and Gulak are not in this.
Maybe EC3 just didn't want to fucking go. Maybe he was
not.
Are you going to use me? No. All right, then I'm not going to Saudi. Yeah.
It could be that. I would have thought Gulak would have been a guarantee. Especially over, like...
Yeah, well, the Saudi prince doesn't like PowerPoints.
Like, Tony Nese, for instance, he's full-on 205 Live in NXT now. And the Brian Kendrick is not a part of the Raw roster. Not like Akira Tozawa, for instance. Drake Maverick's a part of SmackDown, so okay, that makes sense. And he can get involved in the 24/7 championship situation too, but I'm shocked about the Drew Gulak thing. Not that I thought that he had any chance of winning by any means, which, by the way, I love that they're going back to the PowerPoint presentation, so that's cool. I feel like this is a one-man show for the most part.
Yep.
It's pretty much Humberto Carrillo.
Yep, and who'd have thought we were saying that 3 weeks ago?
And you know what sucks about that? They just did this match. I don't want to see it.
But that's why they're doing it.
Probably.
They just have to get through Thursday. Because it's going to be Humberto Carrillo, and then on Monday it's going to be, oh, hey, Kevin Owens is back. Kevin Owens is going to beat the shit out of AJ Styles now. Okay.
I'm hoping that it's not Carrillo, and I mean, if you look at this group, for the most part, most people can't win. Like, Andrade's not going to win and fight AJ Styles. It doesn't make sense.
Where's Ray? He's there.
He'll be ringside for the Velasquez.
Oh, that's right. He's selling an injury, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
The only winners I can see happening here are Akira Tozawa, just for them to do something a little bit different and for him to lose. Apollo Crews, just for him to wrestle a match. Maybe, if they're feeling adventurous, Buddy Murphy, but I don't think so. They've done Cedric Alexander a bunch of times. That's not happening. Drake Maverick's not happening. It's not going to be any of the heels. So it's not going to be like Shelton Benjamin or anything. It would be really strange if they ended up with like Heath Slater won. But I could see maybe Sin Cara winning. Just to give him another little bit of a boost and for him to lose. But I really think it's just Humberto Carrillo. And for that matter, the United States Championship match, AJ Styles is fighting the winner of this. It doesn't matter, right?
No, AJ is winning. But I would like to see, I think it comes down to Humberto or Buddy Murphy. And I would like to see Buddy Murphy get it, because I like Buddy Murphy, and I think it's a shame that he got this like really cool moment earlier this year, and they just made him go away.
Who do you think eliminates Eric Rowan?
Buddy Murphy. Why not? He's the one guy who's like in the whole, hey, you tried to kill Roman storyline.
I could see them maybe having them gang up on him. But
well,
I can't
Harper's
see...
in there. Harper's not going to like...
Harper's not going to be somebody who they prioritize, though. I think that he'll just be taken out by like No Way Jose or something.
Well, Harper was just in the ring with Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Why is Harper going to be taken out by No Way Jose?
Because he had tweeted out that he was pissed at WWE and all that.
That is true, but then they brought him... Did he tweet something again?
The last thing was the instance where he said that they were going to fine him for cursing. And then he switched his account. No,
that was actually months ago, and then... that was weird. That whole thing was strange. But no, I think Harper will be all right. I do think it's Carrillo's match, because for some reason he's getting the push of a lifetime.
Yeah, I don't get it at all.
I'm calling him the Hispanic Rocky Maivia, because that's exactly what this is. He's getting like he's super vanilla babyface. He's a good-looking kid. He's slapping hands, and he's good in the ring, and he's just Rocky Maivia.
Not a fan.
Not even like you watch him in the ring with Rollins and AJ. You're not getting it.
Nah, I still just like he could just be anybody. You know, no character, no personality, no particularly fun stuff in the ring that makes me like want to see any of his matches. I just don't get it. He's on my cut list. Like if I were to say we needed to purge a bunch of people on the roster to save a little bit of money, I'd be like, all right, you can get rid of Humberto Carrillo, and nobody's gonna be like, oh, we got this big steal. Like, kind of like Mike Kanellis. Like, he requests his release. Go ahead and leave. Yeah. It's not like you're losing Roman Reigns.
Damn, Tony coming in hot with this against Mike Kanellis. What did he ever do to you?
He did absolutely nothing the entirety of his career in WWE. That's
damn. All right, well, we're in agreement. Carrillo wins here, and then AJ gets him because he's AJ.
Very much so. If anything happens alternative to that, I will be completely shocked. Yeah, outside of the idea that maybe like Tozawa wins and then loses to Styles or something like that. But ultimately, it's just going to end up in the same space anyway. AJ Styles is retaining the title, so it's a match to lead to a match that leads nowhere. But it could be fun. I like battle royals, so it's not gonna be my least favorite part of the match, part of the night. That's for sure.
I know doing the segues is your gig, but can we just get this one out of the way? Mansoor versus Cesaro. Obviously, Mansoor is winning this match.
Yeah, though, I mean, this isn't going to turn into a situation where Cesaro swings him and throws him out of the arena or anything. Like, this is existing entirely for Mansoor to win.
I will say this. He's beating Austin Theory on the NXT house shows, and they're being praised as good matches. So, like, maybe this dude can go. Maybe, like, we watch this match and we go, holy shit, I want to see him on TV.
I've seen him wrestle a couple times, and I don't think that he's all that bad. Like, he's not somebody to, like, latch onto and be like, this guy's got star power, like the Velveteen Dream or something. But he's not bad. Like, there's no difference to me between Mansoor and, like, Raul Mendoza. Where I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're not going to give him some 7-figure contract right now, but keep him around. Like, see what he does. Yeah, put him in a tag team. Work through the NXT system. Don't just, like, drop him off the face of the earth like they do with most other people.
Yeah, and he's in the ring with a machine who can do damn well anything he wants in the ring, so it should be a fun match. I'm optimistic about this one, but it's, like, such a given.
I have low expectations for the overall grand scheme of things, but I do think that the match is going to be kind of fun. And the people are going to eat it up, too. Like, they're going to go crazy over the fact that Mansoor's in this match. They went nuts for him in the Battle Royal the last time around, and it's kind of fun to see the crowd be, like, super crazy about it.
I did love the Battle Royal at Super Showdown because it was like, yes, our guy did it. You know, it felt like one of those big sports moments, and I did appreciate that.
Yeah, that's fun. Now, if they don't have the same huge reaction this time and they're just like, our guy did it, then it'll be kind of interesting.
But then it's just like, oh, okay.
I would assume that they're going to have another crazy reaction.
If they make Cesaro beat the shit out of him first.
Yeah, they have to. He's got to be, like, beating the shit out of him for a while, give him a couple chances to fight back, and then just put him back down again.
And then uppercut him, and then he's got to sell that shit like he got shot.
And then he fights back, and he gets to the point where he starts building up the momentum, gets cut down again, and then, oh, look at that, he ends up one more shot back up at the top and wins, and then, you know.
And then he goes into the crowd and celebrates. I dig it, actually.
Yeah, that'll probably end up being one of my high points of the night. Let's talk about the World Cup. Last time around, we had a World Cup, and that fucking went well, didn't it?
Well, I got news for you, Tony. There are reports that one Shane McMahon is in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Maybe you should be.
I think that's probably, he's going there to, like, hang out.
The best in the...
Although, it would be great if he was like, I'm the part of the 10th tag team. It's me and Greg Hamilton. And they won. I
would like to just... I want it to be Vince. Like, I really do. Like, the jerk in me just wants to see Vince and Shane walk down to the ring and pin, like, Hawkins and Ryder and become the best in the world.
You know what? If it happens, I'll give it a highlight. The teams that we do have in this, though, are the B team, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. Why the fuck don't they have a name yet?
Because they're Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder.
Just call them the Major Bros again, like, because they're like bros.
Yeah, they're major. They're bros.
Just be like, we're such big bros that we're Major Bros and whatever. Like, I hate how they don't want to give these tag teams names.
I agree.
Speaking of which, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, They're still in this. Heavy Machinery, they got a name. The Lucha House Party, which we don't know which 2 members are going to be, but it doesn't really matter. They're not winning. The New Day, we do know which 2 members it's going to be, because it's got to be Kofi Kingston and Big E, because Xavier Woods is injured.
Yep.
The OC, which means that it's going to be Anderson and Gallows, because this, Styles has his United States title match. The Revival, and the Viking Raiders. So absent from this are AOP and the Street Profits, which makes sense. They don't want them to lose, so they're just kind of keeping them out of the mix. But also the Ascension and the Colognes.
Where are the Ascension? Put them on NXT already.
They've got a 9-team Turmoil match for this. The biggest tag team Turmoil match in history, because it's always the biggest. For the first time ever, we're having the biggest World Cup tag team Turmoil in Saudi Arabia and Riyadh. Whatever.
And no matter what they do, it's for the first time ever, no matter what.
But they do have 9 teams for this. There is a possibility that it's 10, but there's nothing that says that they need to round it out to an even number like that. And I was looking up some statistics, and I looked at the Clones. They have not wrestled, either of them, on television at all in 2019.
Really?
They didn't wrestle a single televised match. It's only been a handful of dark matches and a handful of house show matches. And even that is like a grand total of, I think, like 8 or something.
Well, Survivor Series is coming up. Maybe they get pulled in for the tag team match.
Maybe. I don't know. But that's really like, that floored me. I thought that they might have at least sometime been a part of a battle royal or something like that. Nope.
So what is their deal? Like, what are they, just lifers?
They're wrestling for some other promotions right now.
They're wrestling for their dad, or for their dad/uncle.
So it's like, just release them. You're clearly not doing anything with them ever. It's been years at this point. Just let go of the contract, Don't pay them that money. Use that money for more pyro. It's more useful,
Yeah, well, we need more pyro. We're going to let go of the Colognes.
Yeah, fucking just do it. I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh, no.
That one good. No, you know somebody who loves himself some Primo Cologne.
So, out of this bunch, it pretty much has to be the Viking Raiders, right?
I'm going to show Fightful Select again. Fightful Select reporting, as of their last understanding, it's just the Viking Raiders are going to squash everybody.
I mean, it kind of has to be that way. Like, depending on the situation, how they want to do this, and like elimination by elimination or anything, like, it could be like, the B team, you write off. You write off the Lucha House Party. You write off Hawkins and Ryder. The OC, they never really win anything. It's only AJ Styles that wins anything, so they don't matter at all.
Well, okay, I think the Revival will get eliminated by the New Day. And they'll be like, oh, tomorrow night on SmackDown, they're going to wrestle for the tag titles. Then everybody else will just get eliminated by the Viking Raiders.
Final 2 ends up being New Day and Viking Raiders, probably.
And they get squashed again, and this continues leading to Kofi being like, what the fuck, man? We need to do something different.
Unless they set it up in a way where it's like the first 2 teams are Heavy Machinery and the B team. Heavy Machinery beats the B team. Then the Revival comes out and they beat Heavy Machinery. And then they beat Hawkins and Ryder. And then the New Day beats them. And then the New Day beats the OC. And the New Day beats Ziggler and Rude, and and then they get to the point where the Viking Raiders win at the last minute. But it wouldn't shock me either if they ended up having the Viking Raiders start and end it or whatever. Ultimately, it's just gonna come down to the Viking Raiders win.
I do love these Saudi Arabian shows for one thing. Everything is about being the greatest or the best in the world. Like, it's so very cliche, but it's just awesome.
They might turn out to be some shitty events and stuff, but the cards are always weird.
They're fucking WrestleMania cards. We haven't even touched on the fact that the WWE Championship match for this card and the other promotional match should be on fucking WrestleMania.
Yeah, basically. And we got legends, and we got, oh man, like
this is WrestleMania, basically, and nobody cares because they're in Saudi Arabia,
where it's hot as hell, and usually
yeah.
WrestleMania is in a location where they're like, I don't know if it's gonna rain, like that kind of thing. By the way, tickets for WrestleMania, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't afford that $9,000 package deal.
Well, we got to do something, I think.
Yeah,
but I'm 20 minutes away from the venue. I feel obligated to do something.
Yeah, that's a good point. I happen to be the whole flight and everything away from that, but we'll see. I know for sure there's more of a likelihood I'm going to WrestleMania this year than that I will be going to Saudi Arabia for any of these events.
But the legends rise, Tony. They rise.
If you want to hear more of my amazing humming of the lyrics that I don't know, then hit up the Patreon. Donate a Pick Your Poison tier to, I don't know, create more outros or something like that. That's what we got going on. Pick Your Poison is something that you can do. If you want to donate, if you don't have the money for that and you want to just toss a buck our way, or for instance, $5 gives you the peace of mind of ad block forgiveness, just to be like, all right, I'm going to put the ad block on, I'm giving $5 a month, and I'm cool with it. Why not? But the Patreon is the best way to keep us going for that, or that's the PayPal button at the bottom of smarkoutmoment.com, or there's things that you can do like buying merchandise shop stuff, like the stickers and t-shirts and mugs and different things like that. That's another way for you to fund or help fund Smark Out Moment. The same thing for fanboysanonymous.com as well. That's the website that I do the TV show talk and the movie review stuff and video game blah, 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 and anything on the geek culture spectrum that we can get a chance to do. And if you want to donate more to the Patreon for that and request something, take advantage of that while you can too. Plugs out of the way. 3 in a row. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. So let's move on to another match here. This is another multi-man match. We got Team Hulk Hogan versus Team Flair. Now, the members of this, slightly different from what it was originally. Seth Rollins was supposed to be the captain of Team Hogan. Do you think that they had the plan for that, or that they were just going on a whim?
Now, according to Fightful Select, third time I'm mentioning this now, but the Rollins Fiend thing was always the plan. I personally don't buy that at all. I believe that they moved Orton to Raw. They were fully intending on doing Orton Rollins, and Orton being the new heel that Rollins would have to defeat. And then Hell in a Cell happened, and they went, well, I guess we need to change, don't we?
Yeah, I do not think this was the plan. I figure maybe there's an opportunity that they had here that Roman Reigns was supposed to swoop in and do that. But it's a weird way to go about it if that was the plan. Why would you want Seth Rollins to be booked and then make it look like you didn't plan it ahead of time? Unless maybe there's something to be said about, like, the plan was to have, like, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in there, and it was going to be like, I don't know, say Rusev wasn't going to be a part of it, and Roman would have been just in that spot.
Or like Shorty G. Because fucking Shorty G. But, whatever.
It starts making you wonder if the sides are a little bit uneven, because you look at Ric Flair's team, and he's got Randy Orton, King Corbin.
A fucking main event list.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley, the Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, who, to be fair, hasn't been doing shit for like a year and a half. More than that, like 2 years practically.
But he's so good.
And Drew McIntyre, who is like one of the best examples of untapped potential that they have. This guy looks like he could be a world champion at any moment, and they're like, hold on. They never really
You know what I just realized? Motherfucker, they did it again. For the millionth time in the last 12 months, somehow, Lashley, Corbin, and McIntyre are on the same goddamn team against Roman Reigns.
Yep.
How the fuck? Wait, no. How the fuck did they do that? What happened?
Because they're just stuck on these things.
Damn.
And on Team Hulk Hogan, you've got Roman Reigns as the team captain. He is supported by Rusev, Ricochet, Ali, and Shorty G. I mean, I like Ali.
Were you about to say Ali G? Like,
I think that's what I was doing, Ali G. He's gonna have Borat
and Bruno and all that good stuff.
It's a very nice team. Young Shamish. I like Shorty G. I don't like Shorty G. That's the thing. I like Chad Gable. I like Ali, but you put Ali up against like Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre should beat the shit out of him.
Is it weird that Hulk Hogan, who like is Mr. Muscle, has essentially a team of cruiserweights and Roman Reigns?
And they keep focusing on the idea that like brute strength Rusev does not look as intimidating as Bobby Lashley, for instance.
Yeah, well, Tony, you've been talking to Lana?
Very much so. That's the next part of the storyline.
Oh, what are you, a sex addict too?
Well, she's got to do something in the kitchen and the bathroom
and the doctor's office. And...
I hated that segment, but it did make me want bagel bites because it's all like pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time.
Lana in the morning, Lana in the evening, Lana at supper time.
When Lana's on a bagel. You can have Lana anytime.
Oh God,
So we check off bagel bites. We checked off Alanis Morissette. At some point, we're gonna get into Chumbawamba, Blues Traveler. We're gonna at some point start talking about how awesome the theme song for Crossfire was.
Anyway, I think so. The cast of all that is in the Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair.
Oh, if Lori Beth Denberg was in this, she'd fuck somebody up. Especially if it was like in the middle of a library and she's a librarian, comes everybody to shut up. That's a better version of the librarians for you, AEW.
Advice for your everyday life.
This is just like, let's wait until Roman Reigns wins, right?
So I think it's how many times is Hulk Hogan going to punch Ric Flair, and is Ric Flair going to bleed?
I'm assuming one punch.
And yes.
There's a chance. Yeah. There's a chance he goes for one punch and Ric Flair starts bleeding like a stuck pig for like the next 3 weeks. But that's what it boils down to. It's going to be the punch moment. That's it.
It's going to be one of those moments. Rusev and Lashley are going to fight into the backstage area, right? They're just going to fuck off with each other. Lana might be there. Lana might not. But either way,
Rusev, you always want to fuck off with people.
I know, but this fucking sex addict Rusev here.
Well, this isn't elimination based, right? It's just
just a 5-on-5.
Okay.
And then I think after you eliminate those two, the other remaining men will just do their finishers. So it'll be like Ali hits a 450 on Shinsuke right into an RKO. Corbin will do a end of days and get a Superman punch. It'll just be the finisher, and then Roman will pin Corbin, setting up their match on Friday.
Yep. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's going to be that match, and then that way when they do the whole, like, tomorrow night we're going to have on SmackDown, Corbin is going to get a chance to get some kind of vengeance on Roman Reigns and whatever, and let's cut to the footage of yesterday's show on SmackDown, and Roman probably beats him a second time too.
Yep.
Or that, probably even more so. That
is
match
he allowed
ends
to
in some
be
kind
King
of DQ.
Corbin in Saudi Arabia?
I don't know how the kingship works on that. They might end up having the actual king beat King Corbin and be like, I'm the only king, So this is a Roman Reigns win. It's a Team Hogan win. They go with baby faces.
Fun. They really should have. I know we're tired of it at these Saudi shows, but if you were ever going to stack, like, why isn't Hunter on Team Flair? Why isn't, John Cena in this match? I know that they don't want to wrestle, per se. They're over it, but, like, you could have really stacked the deck here. Why isn't The Miz involved in this match, but he was involved in the building of this match.
Is that where you think that they're going to incorporate him?
No, I think if anything, because him and Shane were already tag champions, that if Shane is going to do anything, it'll be with The Miz, and they'll just be friends again. Like, they'll forget they were ever enemies.
Ugh. God, I hope not. I would be cool with the idea that they didn't announce this, so it's not going to happen, most likely. But if they wanted to do something, an impromptu, like, fun kind of piece, have The Miz be the special guest referee. He's a mediator between those two to begin with, you know? It'd be kind of fun.
My big concern and actual, like, morbid curiosity is, how badly do you think the Prince, Hulk Hogan, and Ric Flair just wanted this to be a one-on-one match between the two?
Oh, that's probably, like, I would put, like, so much money down on that.
You know, Hulk Hogan's like, I don't have to drop a leg, brother. I can hit him with a clothesline. Like the good old Japan days. And Flair's like, I'll bump. I have my gear.
Yeah, Flair's just like, I'll never retire.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what it was.
Roman wins. LOL.
Yeah. Let's go to... you kind of talk about all three of these in a row to kind of balance them out, but we're going to bounce around here. Let's just say what they are. So, Braun Strowman is fighting Tyson Fury. If you don't know who Tyson Fury is, you haven't watched wrestling over the past couple of weeks, he is the quote-unquote lineal heavyweight champion, the uncrowned champion, the whatever you want to call it, all this other kind of stuff. Essentially, the best boxer that, like, exists right now, so to speak. Huge dude. Supposedly legitimate badass. I don't doubt that. And he's not the only person on the card who's an outsider coming in. The other one is Cain Velasquez. He is facing Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. They, of course, have their history. Cain Velasquez is the one who beat him for the UFC Championship. So that's something that they've been building off of. That was the whole Rey Mysterio angle and everything that went along with that. And there's also the United States Championship match, which is a false count anywhere match
Undisputed,
between...
Universal. We both said it wrong. Universal Championship match.
What did I say?
You said United States, I said undisputed.
Oh, God damn it.
So this is for the undisputed United States Championship of the universe.
It's something that's hidden in that storage unit. Seth Rollins is defending against Bray Wyatt because they didn't learn their lesson from Hell in a Cell, or they learned their lesson from Hell in a Cell and they're going and trying to backtrack on it.
Well, now you need to be clear here. There's a false count anywhere match that cannot be stopped for any reason.
So, again, we're going to bounce around here, but I want to lay my cards out on the table about this. There is no way Tyson Fury and Cain Velasquez are both losing. And I lean more towards the idea that Tyson Fury is winning because he's undefeated and all this stuff. I can't imagine that they sign him up for that and they want him to lose, unless it's by some kind of bullshit count out thing or something like that. But the Tyson Fury thing, I feel like that's pretty much a guarantee. Braun Strowman, they don't give him the big wins, and they'll do something. I don't know what they'll do. If they have Tyson Fury win, they don't have to have Cain Velasquez win the WWE Championship. He can win the match by DQ or countout, and they can hold off for another time, which I freaking hate, but I know that they can do that. And then that, to me, means if Brock Lesnar retains the title, Seth Rollins can't lose the title. And these are very much like dependent upon each other. Because if either one of those titles changes hands, the other one is, I think.
I am of the belief, right up until you said those words, count out, I have been steadfast, Rollins and Brock are losing. Especially when you consider the fact that SmackDown got its worst viewership number of all time. If you say tune into SmackDown to see what Cain Velasquez is going to do with the WWE title and where the Fiend is going to go, tune into Miz TV, that's a hook for SmackDown.
Well, both Brock and Bray are on SmackDown, and they can't both be champions.
Right.
So either they've booked themselves into a corner where they're going to have two champions on the same brand, and then they're going to have to move one of them, which that means bad things for Fox, good things for USA, because one of them's going to have to go back. Or they do something like Cain Velasquez wins the championship from Brock Lesnar, and they constitute him a Raw superstar. And then Bray Wyatt wins the Universal Championship, and they repackage the championship belt from a red one to a blue one, or a black strap, or some kind of weird, funky gray brown sort of thing for Bray Wyatt, you know?
I fully believe Cain Velasquez is going to Raw. I think it's just going to happen. I know it seems weird that Lesnar would lose it so quickly. I just think they get their kicks on, haha, nobody can beat Lesnar except for these people who are not in our world that can totally beat the fuck out of Brock Lesnar. Haha. Cain Velasquez is champion now. I think that's what we're getting here, and I think Bray Wyatt by default is going to have to beat Seth Rollins.
I really feel like it depends on what their plans are going forward. Like, that they need to know what their plans are. Not that it's like, I mean, obviously, if they have plans, then it's going to be affected. But, like, if they specifically thought to themselves, we want Cain Velasquez to hold the championship for the next couple of months until, like, WrestleMania or something, then he wins the title, and then they decided, well, we'll wait on the Bray Wyatt thing, and then we'll have him win the title at Halloween, and we'll do that kind of thing, or whatever. And maybe that's even why they thought that the Hell in a Cell booking could work, because maybe they're like, well, we know that we're going to give them the championship win in a month.
Well, not that
it makes an excuse for it or anything, but
I've done this all night, and I apologize. But again, same Fightful Select report seems to suggest that Rollins and Wyatt are going for a double turn. And if you saw Seth Rollins' WWE.com interview, I don't know if you did, but it very much seemed like this dude's about to turn heel. Because he was kind of like, I don't get it. I feel disrespected. I'm coming out here busting my ass, and people are just cheering for the Fiend because he's the cool new toy. It was very like, I'm turning heel.
And that, too, is another thing that, like, if somebody were to turn or whatever, then that changes the dynamic for certain things, because Bray Wyatt, that's a babyface. Who does he fight on SmackDown? If Seth Rollins is a heel, who does he go up against? They could do that, but, like, Cain Velasquez is champion. That's another question. It's who does he end up fighting for the next couple of months? Are they really going to bank that much on the idea that he can do matches for TLC and for Royal Rumble and Fastlane and WrestleMania?
Like, you have a built-in opponent with Lashley. You have a built-in opponent with Joe. I don't remember right now what show Joe is on.
He's on Raw.
Yeah, you have built an opponent with Joe. You can even do Drew McIntyre, I think, and you had the Rey Mysterio connection, and Rey's on Raw. I think Velasquez is going to Raw with the title.
The fact that they haven't said where he is yet, that's kind of, makes me seem that he's going to Raw. But he could go to Raw and not be the champion, and he can go to Raw and have beaten Brock Lesnar, and they can do that kind of crap where they're like, we're going to put a pin in it, and we're going to have a rematch at another point, and they're going to cross paths in the Royal Rumble, and then we're going to have another match at WrestleMania, and he's just going to hop over to the other brand, and, like, rules don't matter in WWE. And even when it comes to the Falls Count Anywhere match, they're specifically saying it can't be stopped for any reason. There's a chance that Seth Rollins wins this match through some kind of BS. Like, he can win by the referee doing some kind of, well, the pinfall was counted, but Bray Wyatt's arm was up, and we're just going to say that there's no replays, and that's the end of it. Or the match didn't, like, stop for any reason, but it had to be postponed for another day, or you know what I mean? Like, some kind of crap.
They're really trying hard here. I think you just gotta. we're going to have to accept that this is going to be a newsworthy Saudi Arabian show and these titles are changing hands. Because otherwise, why did you do any of this?
But then again, we've had so many events where it seems like there's an obvious answer and they do something that makes no sense at all. And then that becomes the story. It then becomes like, what the hell are they thinking? So I would not be surprised at all if this goes in any fashion. Broman, I'm all over the place tonight. Braun Strowman could beat Tyson Fury, and Cain Velasquez could win the title or lose, or he can win by DQ or count out, or they could have that match end in some kind of no contest and be like, well, we said that we weren't going to have the false count anywhere match end in something, but we didn't say about this one.
I'm going double DQ on the Tyson Fury Braun Strowman match.
That's another way to get around it. I think more than likely, the very least likely option is Braun Strowman is not beating him by submission. He has no submission moves. But like, I'd bank more on the idea of Tyson Fury wins by pinfall, or
following what? What can he do in the ring?
I don't know, because this isn't like no DQ. So unless they play around with that and they just say like it's an impromptu no DQ match.
I thought that they were going to go with the old school, like, they're going to do the 10 rounds of boxing.
I would rather it be some kind of a no contest than for Strowman to lose.
I'm going with no contest. Like, they both throw the referee out of the way, and they just keep brawling until he gets separated.
As far as Rollins and Wyatt goes, who do I want to win and who do I think would win? It depends on the Cain Velasquez thing. That's all. And Survivor Series, I know I've mentioned this a bunch of times. There is a chance that they don't do Raw versus SmackDown, but there's a more likely chance, I think, that they will do that. And I can't see like Bray Wyatt versus Cain Velasquez.
That is a fucking good point, man.
I can't see Seth Rollins versus Cain Velasquez unless Velasquez goes to SmackDown and wins the title and Rollins retains and they do turn him heel and they just want Velasquez to beat the shit out of Rollins.
And then, well, I'll tell you right now, people would love that. People would eat that shit up.
Yeah. And I can't see Brock against Bray. It wouldn't make any sense anyway because they're both on the same brand. And good Lord, if they do Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins, I just can't imagine that they are that dumb to be able to do that.
That would be the first time since
the other 7 times this year.
No, like what? I'm trying to think of a feud that got like slotted into every Big Four show. Because they fought at Mania, they fought at Super Showdown, they fought at SummerSlam. Yeah, like they're fighting at every major show, even more than Roman and Brock at this point.
So that's like another thing to factor in. But I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith that anything is going to work out. If they give the title to Bray Wyatt, who the fuck does he fight?
He's got Kofi Kingston. He's got a babyface Daniel Bryan. Or at least, that's the route they're going. He's got Roman Reigns. He's got Shorty G, and you can make a lot of funhouse jokes about Shorty G.
That would be hilarious if it's like we're talking right now about the idea of like, well, is it going to be Cain or Brock or Rollins or Wyatt or whatever, and then it ends up being like
WrestleMania's Shorty G
right.
versus Bray Wyatt.
Their goal is to just have that, and for him to just be like, it says a lot for me to stand up against somebody.
But Bray Wyatt might think he's a fiend, but I follow my heart.
Well, yeah, he's a fiend. Well, I'm a friend.
Friendly G.
Friendly G. Oh, God. Fucking book it, WWE. Just do it. I'll buy my WrestleMania ticket to see Friendly G versus The Fiend.
Friendly G better be coming to the TeePublic page. Oh, God.
So, Yeah, out of this bunch, I'm going Tyson Fury. And even though this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, I'm going Seth Rollins retains and Cain Velasquez wins by DQ or countout.
I'm going. All right, final prediction. Even though there's like no money on this, I'll go with my brain. I'll say double DQ on the Fury Strowman match. Brock Lesnar gets counted out, and Seth Rollins, for some reason, beats the Fiend.
Mm-hmm. And then at that point, God knows what they do based off of any of
And
that.
then you do Team SmackDown led by Cain Velasquez versus Team Raw led by Lashley. You do Brock and Seth again, only this time people are cheering Brock because they want to see Seth get his ass kicked. And yeah, you probably saved Strowman Fury too for WrestleMania in like a last man standing match or some shit.
Actually, I wouldn't be shocked at all if this is a one-shot deal for Tyson Fury.
He wants to do more. You know, when they want to do more, that typically means they're going to.
It'd be kind of fun if they did something like Strowman and Fury team up afterward. You know?
Well, it'd be nice to see it. Braun Strowman tends to get into these tag team situations at WrestleMania.
Have like Strowman and Fury against like I don't know, Joe and Corbin or something at WrestleMania as like a somewhat featured match. Like they might do something like that.
I have Joe. If Cain goes to Raw, I have Joe against Cain in my mind for Mania.
Oh, I just assumed that it's Brock and Cain like 7 times.
No, he's got like a 5-year deal or whatever. Like they're not gonna do that match 7 times.
I wouldn't be shocked if they did that match 7 times between 2019 and 2020's WrestleMania.
That's terrible. Please.
It would not at all surprise me if they did like Cain wins by DQ and they're like, okay, well that match is going to happen again at like Fastlane or something, and then it's like, well that match ended in a no DQ, no contest or something, and they're going to have a match at WrestleMania. Like that would
It'll be in
not
an
surprise
octagon.
me.
Oof. A Lion's Den match.
Either that or they do. I mean, what's how long is this deal? 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
Man, you gotta hope that he knows what he's doing. Because if they sign a 3-year deal for him and he ends up really sucking in this match, woof. I have more faith in Tyson Fury than Cain Velasquez right now.
Really? Cain Velasquez knows how to fly. But he does Hurricanranas in the AAA shit.
Really?
Yeah.
So how come he couldn't pick up Shelton Benjamin and put him down and do a convincing punch?
Because I think you get into this like weird, from what I hear, obviously I don't know, you get into like this weird scripted system, and then you're like trying too hard to put on an act, and that's probably what happened with Cain.
I hope it all works out. Otherwise, we're gonna have to tap into Friendly J to save the day.
Friendly. Oh god.
So Crown Jewel is happening this Halloween. It's Thursday. They're gonna start it at 12, I think.
Pretty sure
12 p.m.
it's
Eastern?
12, yeah.
So I think that's a kickoff. So the event would start at 1 and go on for like 4 hours or whatever it is. So what we're gonna do is our usual shtick. We're gonna have our post show afterward, and as I mentioned before, that's Halloween, so that means that there's a chance that there's just gonna be like trick or treater noise and stuff like that. No way for me to get around that. I apologize if that happens in advance, but we will be breaking down the card, and I'll be doing my live coverage on smarkonmoment.com, obviously, and writing up some stuff about it and seeing how this all plays out, because this could be some surprise hit pay-per-view, or this could be just complete trash. And there's some contenders for the worst event of the year so far. Like, if you count like Smackville, for instance, that was a special event, and that sucked. So, who knows? They might beat it out. And I'm curious. pretty sure everybody else is curious. So I want to know what you have to say before this gets started in the comments section below. Are you on the optimistic side, glass half full, or are you thinking this is just going to be garbage and it's no way that this is going to be optimistic? Drop a comment below. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Smark Out Moment. Drop a tweet or something if you want to chat about something else and pick our brains or anything. You should be also following Rob on his Twitter account.
Yeah, I'm at Dude Felice on Twitter and Instagram. Click around the wrestling social medias. If you know my name, there's a good chance you see articles with my name all the time. This is a mixed bag for me. You know, got some Skittles, got some hard candy, and nobody wants hard candy, and I'm hoping that this event is not the wrestling equivalent of hard candy.
Real quick mailbag question of sorts. When you were a kid, or if you were to go trick-or-treating now, what would be your go-to candy that you would want people to be giving you?
So, I'm a sucker for straight chocolate. I love a good Hershey bar. And
thank you. That is underrated. So many people talk shit about Hershey bars. They're just fucking good.
They're perfect. They are the perfect. They're just chocolate bars. What the fuck? You can't miss. And then you gotta go with the Skittles and the Starburst.
See, I'm much more just on the strict chocolate side. I'm going, if you're not going to give me like some kind of a Nutrageous bar or like a Mr. Good bar or something like that, which nobody ever really does because those aren't like Nestle Crunch or something where it's more mainstream, then you got to give me those Reese's Cups.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Like, Reese's peanut butter cups. All right. So Hershey's just straight milk chocolate, Reese's peanut butter cups, cookies and cream bars from Hershey's. And then you get into like the minutia of, all right, then I'll take some M&Ms. I love my Starbursts. I love my Skittles. The biggest nightmare bag would be if somebody gave me a Starburst big bag that is all lemon, and then a Skittles big bag that is all grape. Like,
oh god, grape anything.
Grape awful. Anything is just awful. Shame on you.
Grapes just shouldn't exist like that. Just as grapes.
That's right. Grapes themselves are delicious. But grape flavored anything, go away.
Yeah, so
it's time for us to go
away. Keep all that in mind, everybody. Drop a comment below. Is Butterfinger your favorite? Or are you more like me where you're like, as great as Butterfinger is, Fifth Avenue is even better, and they should be the ones that are marketed more?
Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
Nobody better touch my Fifth Avenue either. That sounds like it's a lot dirtier somehow.
Don't you touch my Fifth Avenue.
Don't you go up Fifth Avenue. What do you think about Crown Jewel? What do you think about everything else? What do you think about our slowly decreasing sanity and all the other things that are happening here? Just tell us what you think in the comments below. But for now, this is going to do us in. Thank you for listening to this. This has been another Smark Out moment.
And isn't it ironic?
Oh, it's going to make that go on too long and I ended up laughing. And we're being counted out.